The Napoleonic Code, officially promulgated in 1804 as the Civil Code of the French, represented one of the most ambitious and influential legal reforms in European history, aiming to reorganize society on the basis of rational principles and revolutionary ideals after the profound upheaval of the French Revolution. Prior to its introduction, France suffered from extreme legal fragmentation. The northern regions relied largely on customary laws rooted in feudal traditions, while the south was influenced by Roman law, and on top of this were layered royal edicts, ecclesiastical courts, and privileges reserved for specific social classes. This legal chaos created uncertainty, inequality, and injustice, as individuals were often judged differently depending on their birthplace or social status. Napoleon Bonaparte, seeking to consolidate the achievements of the revolution while restoring order and authority, strongly supported the creation of a single, coherent legal code that would be clear, accessible, and applicable to all citizens. The resulting code was drafted by a commission of jurists who aimed to translate revolutionary principles into practical legal rules, emphasizing legal equality, the abolition of feudal privileges, and the supremacy of written law over arbitrary interpretation. One of the central pillars of the Napoleonic Code was the principle of equality before the law, which abolished hereditary privileges and established that all male citizens were subject to the same legal standards, a radical break from the hierarchical structures of the Ancien Regime. The code also placed great importance on the protection of private property, reflecting both revolutionary ideals and bourgeois interests by defining property as an absolute and inviolable right and ensuring strong legal safeguards for ownership and inheritance. Freedom of contract was another key element, as individuals were granted the right to enter agreements freely, reinforcing economic liberalism and facilitating the development of a modern market economy. In line with the secular spirit of the revolution, the code transferred control over civil matters such as marriage, divorce, and birth registration from the church to the state, reinforcing the idea that law was a product of human reason rather than divine authority. However, despite its progressive elements, the Napoleonic Code was deeply conservative in its approach to family and gender relations, reflecting both social traditions and Napoleon's desire for stability and social discipline. It established the authority of the husband and father as the head of the household, granting him extensive control over his wife and children, while women were placed under legal dependency, restricted in their ability to manage property, sign contracts, or act independently in legal matters. Divorce, though permitted, was regulated in ways that generally favored men, reinforcing patriarchal norms rather than challenging them. These limitations reveal the contradictions of the code, which simultaneously promoted individual rights and reinforced social hierarchies within the family structure. Structurally, the Napoleonic Code was highly innovative, organized in a logical and systematic manner inspired by Roman law, divided into books dealing with persons, property, and the acquisition of property, and written in clear, concise language intended to be understood not only by judges and lawyers, but also by ordinary citizens. This clarity reduced judicial arbitrariness and strengthened legal certainty, ensuring that judges were interpreters of the law rather than creators of it. The influence of the Napoleonic Code extended far beyond France's borders, spreading across Europe through Napoleon's military conquests and later through voluntary adoption by states seeking legal modernization. It profoundly shaped the legal systems of countries such as Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, and parts of Germany, and it became a foundational model for civil codes in Latin America and other regions of the world. Even after the fall of Napoleon, the code endured because of its practicality, coherence, and adaptability, becoming one of the most lasting legacies of his rule. Today, the Napoleonic Code is regarded as a cornerstone of the civil law tradition, symbolizing the transition from feudal and privilege-based legal systems to modern states governed by uniform, secular, and rational laws, and its principles continue to influence legal thought and legislation across much of the globe.